Man, I'll tell you what. Heard some of them southern boys talking about pizza and talking about beer. And they mentioned my name in there with it, calling me out, wanting to know a little bit more about me. So here we go. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I been called out by R&N Lawn Care, fellas, to kind of just tell a little bit more about ourselves. And I believe this all started back with Fall River. And sorry, fellas, gotta adjust myself a little bit here. But no, it kind of started out as just all of us guys in the lawn care community to share a little bit more information about ourselves and things about ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to throw pictures up here in the corner. Just kind of let them run through. And you're going to see different things. You're going to see softball days, winning championships with that. You're going to see a lot of photos of me with the family, guys. There's absolutely nothing more important to me than being a good dad and a good husband. And, I'll share a little bit of that in the photos there. But basically, guys, I moved around a lot when I was a lot younger. We lived in Pennsylvania, a little town called Fairchance. And then we also lived in another town called Uniontown. And these were places that my mom grew up in a lot when she was younger. Her family, their last name was Yager. And they kind of have their little area there where their family, that side of it, is really huge in that area. Now, my dad's side of the family came from West Virginia, Spencer's, West Virginia, actually. And, they got together, whatever. And, made this fine specimen in front of your face right now. The greatest gift to ever come to my parents ever is absolutely just me. I mean, my brothers and sister, they just don't even compare. I mean, I'm just kidding, guys. My brothers and sister know, my brother and sister both know that I love them very much. My brother's a bit older. I think he's about 36 now. I'm 32. And my sister's even older than that. She's 39 or 40. I was the baby of the family. And that was that up until my parents started raising my nieces and nephew. And they became the babies of the family. I'm not going to go into detail about that whole situation, but my parents, they raised my nieces and nephews, and, they're teenagers now and young adults. And they did the best job they could. And I was a part of that also. I'll even put a couple pictures up here of me and my nieces and my nephew, and that's that. That's part of my life. That's part of who I am. I've also... It's kind of weird. When I was younger, I actually lived in the projects for a while. Only white kid on a all-black team. When you're young, though, you don't see, any difference in color. I mean, I don't see it today, but I mean, even more so back then. I was just a kid that wanted to play baseball. It didn't matter where, and that was the team, and that's where I was playing. And they accepted me, and I accepted them, and we had a really good team that year. Other than that, I kind of just moved around a lot when I was younger, up until about 92, roughly. Sorry, guys, going to turn the computer back on here. Up until about 92, when we finally settled back here. We lived in Canton, and then we moved to PA, and then we moved back to Canton. And kind of just all over in the Stark County area, East Canton, Canton. We lived over in Plain. Just kind of moved around a lot until about 92, roughly. And then my parents, finally, their young adult age, decided they wanted to buy a house and settle down, and that's what we did. And I lived in that house up until 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. And then we ended up moving once again. And my parents still own that house to this day. But I lived there up until 2007. Yeah, 2007 when me and my wife got married, and we decided to buy our first home. It was nothing special, honestly. It was through a family member, and we tried to make things work with that. It was just a very poor house, I'll honestly say that. What ended up happening with that real quick is we lived there for 5 years. We came home one Christmas, and the septic system actually collapsed in on itself. And this was a big reason why I'm in lawn care today too, fellas. We came home Christmas Day. Septic collapsed in on itself. I called a few local septic people. They came out, and basically with the amount of property I owned there was roughly about 4 acres. My township here required like 20% of your acreage to be done in leach lines. And not to go all crazy into the story, but it was just, the estimate was like in the 30,000 range, and it was just money I didn't have then. And we ended up auctioning off the house and, moved back to our parents temporarily. And then we kind of did the, purchasing an apartment and renting and yada, yada, yada. But without going way off topic, after that, me and Savannah, we got married 2007. A little bit later that year, we found out that we were expecting our first daughter, or our only daughter, Miley. And she's 8 now, going to be 9 this summer. And me and Savannah, we've been married this June will be 10 years. I think everything's going good. It's a work in progress like anything, fellas. It's just like business. You gotta continuously work at it, or, it can go bad. And I mean, not saying we don't have our moments. We have our moments like everyone. But, for us being, we were roughly 22, 23, getting married pretty young. At least what I consider to be young. And, we were together since high school. Me a senior, and Savannah, she had just graduated. She's a little bit older than me. And, we've been together. Sorry, guys, if you hear that. It's my dog deciding to chew on the computer stand. But, Marshall, get out. Sorry, guys. He's still a pup, so he wants to chew on everything. And so, yeah, we got married, and that was that. We kind of were a little bit high school sweethearts, and, then had Miley, and then 3-4 years later, we had little Sean. And that was another big point. This is all kind of, working up to its... Come up here, Marshall. Come up here. He keeps chewing. He keeps chewing on the computer desk. Get out of here, butthead. But, yeah, that was another big reason. The house issues happen. And having a kid, Sean, he was coming around right about then, 2012 area. And it was kind of a big deal to me to... I needed to do something different. The previous jobs, as you'll see up here, I've done security, I've done masonry, labor. I mean, guys, if I've been through the jobs in my life, I'm not kidding you. But what I truly say now, looking back, is those jobs never worked out for a reason. And that was because I was meant to own my own business and run my own business and, do my own thing. This is where I prosper at, basically. And, all those jobs that didn't work out, they kind of led me up to the point where I'm at now. And that's owning my own business, as you guys all know. But some of the other jobs I've done real quick, I've done a lot of security, fellas. I did private security for individuals. I'll say it like that. Some celebrity type stuff, shows and stuff for celebrities. Some in the adult industry. I'll say it like that. Others and clubs, local clubs here. We did a lot of, me and a buddy of mine kind of did some side stuff with another company where we were doing private security also for some local things here in town where we had to kind of try to keep down on the mischief. But, like anything, if there's a will, there's a way, fellas. We wanted to keep the guns out of certain certain bars in the area and stuff. And the thing is, you know, those people that want to break the law or break the rules of clubs or whatever, they're going to find a way to do it. And they did that, you know. So that didn't work out too well. You know, we made good money doing it. We made really good money doing it. But the risk factor just wasn't worth it in the end. So me and him, we ended up leaving. And actually, 2 of the 3 clubs that we were in charge of security of, just within 3 years to a year after, or 3 months to a year after leaving those 3 establishments, there were actually 2 murders at 2 different locations of the 3 that, you know, we were doing security at, basically. And the dude that I worked with, Cameron, he best friend, always through high school, and we've stayed in touch. We always go fishing together, as you guys will see in some of the photos up here. I'm an avid fisherman, avid hunter. You know, I like guns, fishing rods. I mean, my stuff's never far away, fellas. I mean, fishing rods. Here's just one of the guns. It's unloaded, as you guys can see. I would never pick up a gun or, you know, mess around with on camera even if it was loaded. But I knew I was going to show you. This is my baby. I just purchased this one not too long ago. This is the XD40. It's made by Springfield. It's the subcompact version. It's the Mod .2. So it's a nice gun, fellas. As you guys know, a thing with the security also is we always were carrying weapons. And, you know, it was for our own safety. We were in high-risk areas, and that was that, you know. So I did that. Trying to think. As you guys know, I've said in some videos, I was a manager at a Subway for a long time. I actually got that opportunity given to me at the age of 16, roughly. I became assistant manager at a Subway when I was 16 years old, and it was kind of just the opportunities opened up with other people leaving and, you know, being fired or whatever ended up happening, that I was the next person in line and, you know, the best person that was qualified at that location to take over for that. So they gave it to me at a very young age, put a lot of trust in me, and I worked for them for about 2 years after that. You know, worked my way up as best I could at that time. And then I got bored with it, you know. That's kind of a trend throughout my life, up until lawn care, you know. I'd work a job 2-3 years, get bored with it, or just absolutely hate going to, and, you know, that would be that, and I would be gone on to the next one, you know. This was all up until I became a family man, and, you know, I had to settle down, basically. I couldn't take chances and, you know, up and quit a job or this or that, you know, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've done security, I've done management. I mean, I've done it all, fellas, and I've done a lot of jobs that a lot of people would absolutely hate. I mean, stacking block from a conveyor belt onto a railroad cart. I mean, these things are like glass tile, cutting your hands up. The gloves didn't stand a chance, fellas. Some other jobs real quick. Let me think here. I did one fast food restaurant besides Subway when I was like 15. That was a local Wendy's. I worked there for like 6 months. You know, just kind of, I could only work like 4 hours a day there because of school and stuff. And that was that. But, you know, when I was a senior, I went to school for like 4 hours a day, and then I had like a jobs program, went out and I did masonry with now what is my father-in-law. But at that time, he was just the girl I was interested in's dad. So I was kind of trying to fluff those feathers a little bit, I guess. But other than that, you know, I do have tattoos. As you guys can see, my wife, Savannah. Yes, there is an extra A on here. I think her mom may have been on a little something back then. She claims it was the medication for the pregnancy that she added the extra. It's like Savannah, but They just say Savannah. Then I have my daughter's name over here, Miley. My shoulder, I need to get this one all done. And I've yet to get my son's name done. Honestly, it's just haven't really got around to it. I mean, it's another reason the shoulder's not done yet. And it's just getting the time to go and want to have it done and yada, yada, yada. This video is getting kind of long, fellas. I didn't really want to make one this long, but when you're talking about a life full of history and memories and things like that, they kind of run long. But you know, up until now, I'm kind of at the point now with my business where I'm looking elsewhere to invest in things, you know, real estate, whatever, you know. I'm trying to think for the future, you know, and down the road now. And if I can do that, you know, the better for me whenever it's retirement time. But hey, guys, I'm coming up on 16 minutes. I don't want to drag this out too long. I do want to call out a few other channels, as you know, this is what seems the norm now with you know, Fall River's you know, idea here. So basically, I got 3 over here wrote down on the computer. I got a local guy here, Bizzy Beez Lawn and Landscaping. He's a local business here in my area. I've yet to meet him. He has invited me out to his location a couple times. I haven't been in the area to swing over there. You know, the time just hasn't been right yet. So you guys can check out Bizzy Beez Lawn and Landscape. He's here on YouTube. I think he just started uploading here recently. I do see his videos occasional pop into the feed there. Sorry, guys, about the dog. He's scooting his dog bowl across the floor here. But, yeah, check those guys out. I'm calling you out, Bizzy Beez. Let's see here. Brian. I want to call out Brian. I don't know if he's been called out yet over at Ring Lawn Care. Ring a ding. I'm calling you out. I know you talk a lot about your past and stuff in your videos, and you know the struggles and triumphs that you've had throughout your life. And I think there's a lot of people that would like to hear a little bit more about, you know, you, Brian. So I'm calling you out, Brian. And last but not least, okay. I'm not sure if he's been called out yet or not, but where did he just go? I just scrolled off of it, fellas. I want to make sure I say his channel right. Let me click on it here. One Love Lawn. And he's an Ohio boy here too. You can go check him out. His channel is One Love, just that's one word, and then lawn, just you know, a space in between those. Check him out. I believe, don't hold me to it, I believe he's in the Columbus area here in Ohio. So I want to call him out also and learn a little bit more about his past. I did see in a couple of his videos that he mentioned, you know, he was in the military and stuff like that. So, you know, I did want to say to him, thank you for your service. So yeah, those are my 3 guys I'm calling out right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's kind of just rambling, guys, honestly. I've probably missed a lot, and I've probably said too much. But that's part of life whenever you're a YouTuber, sort of say. And hope you guys enjoy it. And as always, guys, keep mowing, keep growing, keep making money, boys. I'll talk to you later. Pop, pop. Later, fellas.